What's up guys, BARRYGAMING here, and today we are here with a brand new game, Raid Shadow Legends. A lot of you guys have heard about it, some of you might have actually played it. Number one, first and foremost, we are going to be doing a complete playthrough, and today is our day one account that we're going to be featuring here on BARRYGAMING 2. So before we get into too many of these game modes, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much. You guys are used to these idle gacha games, these AFK games. We have daily quest systems, we have all these different events and everything. We even have just time during the day where you can get free VIP points. You guys know what I'm talking about, to kind of get upgrade on your account. All these things are completely for free. I haven't spent a single dollar on our account just yet, and in the future I'm going to talk about some of those inexpensive purchases you can do to get you guys some really good progress. So again, we have kind of this 4-hero team going so far. I haven't really done any summons, which is one thing I think is really cool, is the fact that you get a solid team without even having to worry about the gacha systems, the RNG that you might come across, all these different things. We'll do a couple summons here in a little bit just because we have some shards to use, but I think the fact that they give you a solid team to start without any RNG is absolutely amazing. Now, one of the first things you guys are definitely want to do in the game is push through the campaign. So you'll notice there's a couple different game modes here. There's normal, there's hard, there's brutal, and there's nightmare, and you're basically going through these 12 chapter systems to get progression. And based on how well you do, you can see down the bottom here too, there's a whole system of rewards, including void shards and other shards and rare skill tomes to upgrade your hero skills. Lots of really great things. Gems, that's going to be an important one I talk about here pretty soon. But going through this and getting your clears done will be pretty quick on the first day. You can see right here, I'm all the way up to, where did I get to? I think I get to the boss stage 7 on chapter 9 in hard difficulty. So I've already blasted through normal. I've gotten through all that fun stuff. We're grinding it out, and because we have these AoE heroes, it makes things very easily. A couple things you have to consider when you're building your teams and trying to get those star points. You'll notice based on how you beat the stage, you'll get 1 to 3 stars. You beat the stage, you get a star. That gives progression towards those bonus rewards. You beat the stage and you don't lose a hero, you get 2. And you beat the stage, you don't lose a hero, and you only use 2 champions, you get those 3 stars. And all those are going to add up to get you bonus rewards down the bottom here. Now eventually you'll get to the higher tier stuff, even if you're just doing like I'm doing right here. You can see most of our stuff is 1 star cleared. Some of the stuff in the normal mode, I think I did a few of them at like 2 and 3 stars, so you don't have to do it. It's fun. I like this. The system is amazing. If you guys haven't even seen the combat just yet, I'm gonna show you guys a little teaser right here, because this is actually one of the boss waves. I don't know if I'm strong enough, but maybe by the end of this episode today we might be, because there are multiple ways to power up your team, whether it's the levels, the gearing. There's so many different ways to do it, and honestly I might want to do this manually because I don't want to waste abilities here. You can play completely on auto. Behind me there's like an auto button and everything like that, so just keep that in mind. You can do it like that where you can let the system pick for you, but sometimes they might not be picking the skills in a good order per se, so you kind of want to make sure that you're saving up maybe some of your AoE for the next wave. I really love this combat. Like, the combat in this game is really awesome. You can see how the enemy favorability, I'll say, goes here. So you can see if they have a red arrow over their head, you basically don't have advantage over them. If they do have a green arrow, that means you're going to do bonus damage to them. So these things are really good to hopefully get the kills here. Feels like a waste for to put Sun Wukong on one of the other targets here, so we're going to try to pick them apart one by one. We are taking a little bit of extra damage, but I don't think that's too bad here. Yeah, we can finish it out, and we should have some more AoE abilities. Granted, we don't really need them, but we come across this big old dragon, which looks amazing. Lots of HP on this target, though. Don't know if we're going to be able to survive because I don't have my support skills up, and we are going to start losing some of our heroes here. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get the W here. Oh, the poison. We do get some defense up and such, but it does look like we're probably going to fall short again. One thing you'll notice, we have a lot of investment in our Sun Wukong. He is by far our strongest hero on our account. We've invested a lot in him, and we've also invested a ton in his gear. And gear is very important in Raid because it really changes the way your character can play. You can see my character is healing. Well, that's because I actually have lifesteal on my gear, and if I can... Oh, I'm so close to getting the kill, but I think I am gonna go down yet again. The bonus is, even if you do fail, you're getting more silver. Silver is gonna be a very, very important resource for you guys to have. So let's go to our heroes and show you guys the different ways we are going to power up our team. So number one, you of course have your heroes. You have different gear sets. You can kind of see what gear sets you have set up here. We're using a 4-piece lifesteal set. That means 30% of all the damage we deal is going to be healing. And when you're having AoE damage and things like that on a very strong hero, you kind of don't need a support hero as badly as if you didn't have this set. And then of course offense is there too. There are tons of different sets giving life bonuses, defense bonuses, speed, crit rate, accuracy, resistance. Of course, that lifesteal set again, very, very good. Damage increases as HP decreases. So really interesting sets here. Ignoring defense destroys enemy max HP. That is a really cool one. You can see it kind of goes on and on. You get 20% bonus healing. So if your hero already heals, this might be a really crazy set for him as well. We even have this divine set, which I think I might actually have some on Kale already. No, not yet. This could be interesting. 15% of HP self shield at the beginning. Really interesting. So you can see how there's a lot of customizability with this. And as time goes on, you're going to be able to level up these heroes and power them up even more. So I've already got most of them to their max level. You can see at the bottom here, certain heroes of certain star quality can get up to certain levels. So you can see 4 stars can up to 40, 5 stars up to 50, and you can take these heroes even further by going over to the tavern. The tavern is where you can do a few different things. You can literally feed other heroes to a hero to level them up automatically. So you get experience from combat. You also get experience by feeding other heroes to them, which is a cool little thing you do. Another thing you can do is upgrade their rank by feeding other similar star heroes. You can upgrade their skills. So this is where I was talking about these tomes are going to come in handy. It randomly upgrades one of their skills, and you can see how the abilities change as they get to higher levels, something you guys are probably used to. And then finally, you can ascend a hero. So this requires certain resources that you collect through dungeons, through the shop. There's a multitude of different ways to do this, and you can see right here, Kale is probably one of them we can do right now. So we can take them and increase the basic stats actually 2 times here. So you can see I farmed enough of these potions that we're actually able to do it. So we're gonna go ahead live and just show it to you. This is gonna be one of the power-ups we do for our team here. We're gonna power him up to the 2 purple stars. You can see getting more HP and more attack on this hero. And then of course it goes to like a higher tier of potions that you're gonna need to continue going further. I'm kind of inclined to invest in Kale on this account just because we're not gonna be able to increase the tomes for our Sun Wukong right now. So I do think going for the Kale probably the smart move here, so we can actually do all of them. And we're gonna, oh actually no, like I said, silver is one thing that is going to cost a lot. You're always gonna need silver. We're gonna go over a complete guide later this week telling you guys the best ways to generate silver on your account, because you can see here the only other way to really get a ton of silver is with your diamonds. You really don't want to do that if you can afford not to. So for the time being, I'm not going to do this. I don't quite want to invest in Kale too much just in case I hit something big. Most likely that's what you're going to want to do. And you see here there's tons of passes in here with tons of different quest systems. Even if you don't spend a dime, you're still getting a ton of free rewards from the quest systems, from all these different things. And there's even progression rewards up here as well. So tons of places you can get lucky. Now, one thing you do unlock eventually is the gem mine. The gem mine is going to be something that if you plan on playing this game for an extended period of time is a great investment. You can see at first you might be like, I have to, what? I capacity of 5. I produce these at 5 a day, but it costs 500 to unlock. This is going to be one of the best investments you do very, very early on. Early investment in diamonds, gems, to get a high return later on in the game. So you see we're at 460. We're so close. We are going to invest that 500 there. We just need to take a little bit more time. There are things like markets that reset, I think once an hour. You can get summoning shards from this. You can get heroes, like low quality heroes. You can get even some like 5-star equipment and stuff. Pretty cool. There's a ton of different shops. Some of them are going to be a little bit more important later down the road. You can see they take a ton of resources. You can get champions, you get skin fragments, you get a whole bunch of different things. Really, really awesome how this works out. And a lot of these things you don't have to really touch early on. There are some things like the sparring pit where you can literally add a hero that you want to the pit and they'll just start leveling up over time. If you want to unlock additional slots, again, that is something diamonds is going to cost. So if you're going to be a low spender, there are some ways that you can actually get some advantages here. There's a lot of stuff we're not going to go into right away because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. Just like any game that's been out for a little bit, there are plenty of systems out there The positive is you're never gonna run out of content to play. A lot of times these newer games come out, you're playing, and then you get to a point where like there's just nothing to do for like 2 months until new content comes out. The best thing about coming into a game like Raid is they have invested so much into the game and time into the game. There's so much content, and you can see here, I'll even go back to the battle screen. There's a lot of stuff that we have unlocked. There's a lot of stuff that we have not unlocked, and you have to unlock it at certain times or certain levels of your account. You see day 1 already up to level 22, so it's not going to take too long to unlock all the game modes, but it is going to be a little bit of a grind here. So we joined a clan temporarily. We are going to create our own clan. If you guys want to join and play along as well, make sure you do just that. There's PvP. I absolutely love the PvP system in here too, especially when you have heroes like Kale and stuff. I kind of want to go up against someone who's a little bit stronger. Let's go up against this one here. So we can see I'm gonna go with the Sun Wukong hero. The one cool thing is there's things called leaders, and you can tell them by these little icons up the top right of their portrait. They're called leaders, and they have special abilities. You can see when I put Sun Wukong in this, increases ally speed in arena battles. That's exactly what we're playing. This is perfect. You can do things like swap out like Kel here, increases all allies HP in battles. That can be cool. I'm going for speed because I'm going to completely AoE destroy the enemy team the second the battle starts, and that kind of really goes crazy because we got Sun Wukong and we got Kale doing lots of damage, and then we have our supporters coming in at the backside there with a lot of big hits here, and yeah, it should be no problem. 4v1, not going to be an issue. And you can see as time goes on, you generate more of these PvP coins. You want to keep grinding this out because everything I've shown you, from campaign, the dungeons that we'll go over here in a little bit, arena, there's tons of different game modes, and they're all going to help you do one thing specifically very, very early on in your account, and that is the tournament. So the novice tournament, earn tournament points, climb the rankings, and win huge rewards. You can see right here, I'm in second place right now, 1,445 points, and you see different ranks get different rewards. I really haven't done any raids yet. That's something I need to grind out tonight. Beating campaign locations is another really important one. There's tons of different ways to generate resources, and of course everything on the right here, again, completely for free, just for doing your grinds, which is really, really awesome. The one thing I keep talking about, dungeons, this one can seem a little overwhelming at first, but overall there is so much content to do and so many things to grind out. Remember how we upgraded our Kale? This is where you're going to grind out these magic potions where we needed magic potions, and I believe we also needed lesser arcane potions. You grind these out by beating these stages, which is again pretty cool, and there's a lot of them because there's a bunch of different potions required for all different heroes. Beyond that though, there's other ones that include things like basic scrolls for champion masteries. There's chests that have artifacts in them which are going to help power up your hero. There's other things like possible just like gear drops and stuff with guaranteed rolls on them. All these things are really, really awesome, and each one is just a little bit different. So you're gonna want to grind these out as far as possible, as soon as possible, but don't feel like you're missing out and you have so many things to do. Take your time, enjoy it. You can see some of these are open all the time, other ones are open for very specific times. You see this one right here is an event dungeon. Tons of rewards at your disposal, and you see all the different artifact drops, all the item drops. You can even get ancient shards, which are summoned. So there are a ton of things that you can grind out and get tons of rewards, and those are all going to get you points in the tournament. So really, really awesome. Beyond that, there are events that pop up here and there. Some of these aren't going to be things you can do necessarily right away. Some of them can. You can see flip cards cost 1,000. I've only generated about 800 in the first day. You'll probably start the game in the middle of other events, so don't feel like you're, oh shoot, I'm not going to get stuff. You will eventually, don't worry. And you see other events start in 11 hours that will have these opportunities to pop up. So lots of different things. On top of that, I actually don't necessarily know how to pull it up right now, but there is a special event going on right now. There's of course tons of packs. I'm gonna go over the best ones for you guys to go for here in this first week. There is the special Alice in Wonderland event, so you can get her for free, like another legendary for free in the first week, just for logging in 7 days, which is really cool. And you know what we need to do? We need to do a few summons because that's usually what I like going for. There is progressive chance to get certain types of heroes. I'm gonna go with our ancient shards. So ancient shards, you can get rare, epic, and legendary heroes. Mystery shards are a little bit lower quality quality, they're more for your food heroes, that's fine. They all have their uses all over the place. There are some ones like primal shards with mythical heroes, which is that next tier up. These are not going to be things you want to chase in the early game. You're going to want to chase gems, getting a good stockpile up, and getting some summons done. So let's see what we can do. It costs silver and these shards open, so that's why earlier I was like, you know, I don't necessarily know if I want to do this just yet. I want to get my summons in, and I'm hoping we get like insanely lucky here. I don't know if we're going to. I've had really insane luck on my other account. I'm not expecting anything good considering it's only 2 summons that we're doing, but okay, yeah, that's what we should assume. We do get some food heroes potentially, or heroes that we can build up, which is cool. You can see right here, I do have one of these void shards, which does also cost 20,000, but of course, if you're lacking silver, the only way really to get silver is with your gems. I really don't recommend doing that or anything like this with your gems early on. Save your gems up for something a little bit more important. So you can see how there's so much to do, and you see how few champions we started off with, but literally the game gives you AoE damage dealer, support hero that heals and protects your team. Like, this is just really cool. It is 30% placing a decreased speed buff on the enemy. You can place a 30% increased crit rate buff and 60% increased defense buff on all your allies. You can also heal your allies with these heroes that you're getting completely for free. So it gives you a complete 4-hero team that actually ends up working really, really well. And it's just really, really amazing how they give you a full team just by default. So I think that's where we're going to leave it off here today. I showed you guys how there were a couple different ways for us to increase the power of our team. That's going to be what I'm going to be working on in the days to come, making sure we level up our heroes, making sure we're ranking them up when we get more silver, of course upgrading their skills and ascending them, and then going back into it, making sure we are continuing to grind out the campaign, and beyond that, working on our dungeons to help power up our team's gear, their artifacts, all those different things. So, and of course, make sure you pick Kale. Kale's gonna be the kind of go-to you want to pick in this. And of course, the first promo code of the day, please use Monkey King. This hero is going to carry you hardcore. So I'm excited for our journey here in Raid Shadow Legends. I've played it off and on, as you guys know, throughout the years, and I felt like it's finally time for me to just like sink my teeth into it and have a ton of fun playing through this. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.